guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here yet again with my alcohol ink, on the photo papers. And yep, I thought we could have a bit more of a play. If you saw my previous video, we kind of went ahead and we used them in their glossy format. So I thought let's come along today and dull some more up, so like we had done with these two in the first place. So I'm just going to pick out a couple to do. I'm going to do these two because as you can see, I mean, I mucked this one up anyway because I have sploshed or splodged blue ink on there, and this one I've got quite a lot of white space on this, so yeah, I'm thinking I can dull this down. So I'm just going to take my gesso, oops, again, just exactly as, oh my goodness, as we did with the first lot that we dulled down. I'm just going to put some there on the desk, and I'm just going to splodge it on with my sponge. Now, previously I used the makeup sponge. I've got a slightly more kind of open sponge here, so I'm going to just try this one and just see, whether this one's actually better. It might just be, oh, it might not be. It might not be better at all. So, yeah, let's just kind of see how we get on here. Okay. So, do you know, I think I'm going to revert back to the makeup sponge, actually. Yeah. Isn't that strange? I mean, actually, the makeup sponge is better, or panning out better in this instance. I'm not saying it's always better, but for this, it just seems like it is actually better. So, don't know why that would be, but... Okay, dab that all over. So, I mean, definitely, that's kind of dulled that right down. I've also got my brayer beside me. I'm going to just try and rub that across and just see. Oh, look. That's even better, isn't it? Yeah, that's really good. Okay. Oh, that's really awesome. Okay, right, let's do that now on the blue one as well. So again, just going to kind of like dab a few bits, I think, quite thick, and then just brayer it all over. Oh, just experimenting here. This might not be very successful, but we will see. So I'm just obviously trying to dull down, both the intensity of the colour and definitely dull down that shine, because obviously this is, gloss photo paper, and, I didn't want it so shiny as that. So, I didn't want it a glossy surface. So the white gesso is just acting as a kind of, what would you call it? Like a toning down kind of medium. So, yeah, that's kind of all I'm trying to do. I have to say, I loved the look of this blue one previously. I'm not quite loving it so much now since I've done this. So let's hope that I'm going to be able to improve it at some point, because otherwise I've kind of ruined it and don't really like it so much now. Right, I'm going to put these back in. I've got my black gesso here. I'm going to do some stenciling, I think, over these. Let me just see whether I've got my, because I've been using my stencils recently, so I'm just seeing whether I've actually got them here or whether, no, let me just grab them from behind me. Okay, and just, oh my goodness, I nearly fell off my chair. Right, let's just go in with these. I'm going to do this one on this, and I'm going to do my Harlequin one on the blue. Now, the Harlequin one is a Tim Holtz stencil. I can't tell you how much I absolutely love this stencil. Right, now, I probably don't want to dip this in and risk getting white in the black, the black gesso. So, let me just get something to scrape a little bit out and sort of dab it onto the desk with. Oh dear. Okay, so I've just got one of those palette knives, and then I can just, dab it onto the desk like that. Okay. again, I'm thinking, should we use the makeup sponge? I've not tried using a makeup sponge to do stenciling. So let's give that a try and see how it goes. Okay. Oh dear, I think I've sploshed it on, or splodged it on very thick there. So yeah, not quite so good. Let me just lift it and see. Oh, it's still looking okay actually. Okay. So I could have done with going slightly closer to the edge, but to be honest, that's fine. I'm just going to kind of make do with it like that. So let me just put this to one side. And I'm just going to pull this one in. Definitely want to try and cover up this, you know, this bit here where I obviously had that accident with the blue ink. So yeah, let's just try and position that so I'm going to get quite a bit of the black over that splodge of blue. Okay. So this one is a Stamperia stencil. I've used these quite a lot recently. Yeah, they're really nice stencils. Okay. Just see how that's looking. Okay, I mean, I really have not done a great job of covering up that blue. As you can see, it's still very, very, very visible there. But never mind, at least I did kind of attempt it, I suppose. So, yeah, let me get this out of the way and then just clean my desk up. I've cleared the desk up and then I just pulled out a couple of things to kind of like put on, you know, these. I mean, not necessarily going to go with these things, but let's just see how they look. So, just going to cut this one out. So, like that. Yeah, so I hope that everybody's having a good day, doing some crafting, having a nice time. Let me know kind of, you know, if you kind of have played around with mixed media and things, you know, what's your favourite thing to do? What do you find really works really well? Because, you know, I'm very new to this and, you know, still very much kind of learning and, yeah, just discovering and, you know, finding out what techniques that I use and things like that. So, yeah, I'd love to kind of hear your thoughts below of what, you know, what you've had great successes with. You know, and as I say, I mean, I saw the amazing video by Artie Mays where she really dulled down her colours and toned down her colours by using, you know, gesso over the top. You know, but perhaps you've got some other kind of ways of, excuse me, dulling down your colours so that, you know, they're not quite as bright as the original inks or the initial inks come out. Yeah, I'd love to hear kind of what types of things you've found work best and what's, you know, what's successful. You know, because, yeah, I'm just learning. So any tips and help is, you know, of course, very much appreciated. So, but I have to say, it is really fun, you know, just picking up some, well, just new skills, I suppose. And, yeah, just playing with some new things and different techniques and stuff like that. I think previously I kind of shied away from mixed media. I thought, oh, it's, you know, it's quite messy. Do I really want to get all messy? And of course, there seemed like there was a lot of stuff I would have to buy in order to actually, you know, kind of produce anything very much at all. And, you know, like all these things, I mean, you can really get by with not too much stuff. You don't kind of have to have every single thing going, do you? Certainly, you know, not straight away. So, you know, just buying kind of those inks and things, the cheaper ones from Amazon, really got me started. I mean, obviously, I kind of splurged out a bit on the metallic ones. For me, they were kind of like a bit of a luxury thing, but really, really, really made a massive difference. You know, I loved them so much. The blending solution, that was a bit splurgy. And you know, I don't know whether I'm just being really extravagant with it, but I haven't found it to be particularly, you know, long lasting. But that could well be me. So please, you know, please don't kind of assume that that's the case, because yeah, I mean, it may be that I'm using it in a very extravagant way. Have to say, really struggling with this pink one. This one here, the blue, I'm literally loving everything that I put there, because I've pulled in one of my big numbers, and then, I mean, it's a bit of a shame because everything's still wet. I should have really dried it off. But I also absolutely loved how these butterflies look on there. Don't they just look gorgeous? So I'm kind of thinking, shall we have those just layered down, you know, on one side? They look really, really scrumptious, don't they? The pink one, yeah, not so much. Really can't kind of, I don't know. I'm struggling a lot to get it to look any way that I vaguely like it. So, and isn't that weird? Because, you know, initially it was the blue one that I thought, oh, not really keen on that blue since I dulled it down. And now the blue is, you know, proving to be much easier to work with, and definitely my favourite out of the two. And this is, yeah, causing me incredible, you know, trouble to actually get it to look in any way how I'm happy with it at all. Which again just goes to show, doesn't it, that you just can't really tell until you've done something, you know, what you're going to actually think to it. So let's just cut down a couple more bits. Don't know what it is that I'm not really loving about that pink. Maybe I used the wrong stencil. Perhaps I should have gone with the Harlequin stencil on there as well. Ooh, much prefer the road name, or the street name on there. That just looks much better. So yeah, maybe we will be able to pull it back after all and kind of get it to some sort of stage where we quite like it. Oh, that's quite nice actually. That's quite nice. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do, I think, is on this one, just going to glue this piece down. Let me just unclog my glue. Oh, my son and I, we just went to the gym, and yeah, had a really nice time. It was his first time that he'd been to the gym, and I've been trying to get him to go for ages. Like, you know, I mean, ages. I've only been going myself for like 3 weeks at the point of filming this. Obviously I do film ahead, but you know, so if I've been talking about it for ages, it's because I've filmed ahead. At this point I've only been there three weeks. Yeah, so for the whole 3 weeks I've been trying to persuade him to go, and oh, what have I done? Oh, Jess, I'm all over there now. What an idiot. Yeah, the whole time that I've been going, I've been trying to persuade him to come, and you know, he wouldn't come. Let me just get a wet wipe and see that I can kind of mop that up that I splodged in that corner. Probably just mop the ink off of the printed piece. Okay, yeah, so the whole time that I've been going, I've been trying to persuade him to come, and of course he's, you know, he's not wanted to come and been no, you know, not going. I finally persuaded him and dragged him there today. And, oh, we had such a nice time. And, you know, I mean, obviously I didn't speak to him while we were in there, you know, because of course he's a teenage boy. He doesn't want his mum embarrassing him by speaking to him in public, you know. Well, not at the gym anyway. So, you know, I kind of couldn't really gauge whether he was actually enjoying himself or whether he was like thinking, oh no, you know, this is awful. Because, I mean, it's quite intimidating, isn't it? You know, when you first go to the gym, it's kind of like, oh, you know, will I know how to use the equipment? You know, will I know where everything is? And, you know, all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, he was obviously feeling a little bit kind of anxious when we first got there. So I just did my thing, he did his thing, and I just, you know, was really praying that he was actually having an okay time and we weren't going to get outside and him be like, oh, Mum, you know, why did you drag me there? I've had the worst time ever, you know. Anyway, as soon as we left the gym, he had a massive, great big smile across his face, and he'd had a really good time. So yeah, I was so chuffed. Because, you know, sometimes you leave there feeling really great, don't you? Oh my gosh, look what I've done now. I wonder if I've got another one of these. Oh my goodness. Another one of these butterflies all together. Oh dear. I should have stopped and got myself another wipe, to be honest. Oh, look at what I've done to that butterfly. He just looks terrible, doesn't he? Let me see if I can wipe that gesso off. Oh no. Look what's happening to my butterfly. He's looking the worse for wear now, but never mind. Right. Yeah, anyway, when we left, as soon as we left, he had a massive smile on his face. He'd had a really good time, a really nice workout. I mean, oh gosh, now look what I'm doing. He said himself, you know, that when we got in there, you know, at first, for the first couple of seconds, he felt really overwhelmed, you know, because, you know, of course you look around and think, oh my gosh, you know, where do I go? There's so much stuff. I'm just seeing whether I've got another one of those that I can replace that one with, because obviously I've made such a mess of it now. No, that's massive. Well, obviously they're same sort of size butterfly. These are my butterfly freebies. So, yeah. Anyway, and well, I could, I suppose, replace it with that. I mean, although I prefer the one that's on there, obviously it's better to have one without gesso splodged all over it, isn't it? So, yeah. Anyway, I was so pleased because, yeah, I was kind of dreading it in case we got outside and he would be like, oh, I had an awful time. But, yeah, he'd come out and said, you know, he absolutely loved it. Although he felt quite overwhelmed the first couple of seconds going through the door, which you do, you know, because you look around and everything, you know, you don't know where the equipment is and, you know, kind of, you know, until you kind of get, I guess, familiar with the drill, you know, it's a little bit like overwhelming, isn't it? But yeah, I was really chuffed for him because he, you know, he did go and he did really love it. So that was really cool. And yeah, so I treated us both to a Costa, which really is thanks to you guys, because obviously I have my buy me a coffee, you know, what would you call it? Buy me a coffee, not channel, but, you know, link. And lots of you are so generous and do my, you know, buy me a coffee, which is absolutely amazing. I don't really drink coffee. So for me, you're buying me a hot chocolate because, yeah, I would never have a coffee probably. But yeah, a hot chocolate, which I absolutely love. So yes, thank you so much to those lovely people who've contributed to my buy me a coffee, because yeah, today that coffee went for me and my son. And we both had a lovely coffee on our way home from the gym, you know, as like a reward really, because, you know, that was kind of brave of him to go to the gym, I thought. So yeah, anyway, had a really lovely time. So I just kind of got back and said to him, well, I'm just going to do a video quickly before my daughter comes home from school. So yeah, I thought I would just quickly come up and do this. But yeah, feel really nice now because had such a nice time together. And it's just lovely, isn't it, when you have those nice times kind of like that. So yeah, had a really good time. Right, again, wondering whether to kind of edge this with some gold, and actually just wondering whether I could just go in with some gold ink. I don't think I've done this with ink, but let's just try what it would look like to just wipe it around the edge. Oh, that's lovely, because it's gone like a oh, what would you call it, like a sort of marbly effect anyway. So just going to kind of dab it on so as it hopefully gets a bit more of that going on, and then just a bit down here. Oh, doesn't that look lovely? Yeah, love it. Okay. Oh, I love how that looks. That is gorgeous. And, you know, I haven't really got many bits on there, to be honest. I've only got the butterflies and that number. But it looks just beautiful, just exactly how it is, doesn't it? It doesn't really need anything else on there. So I'm just going to put that to one side. Let's bring this one in now, the one that I'm struggling so very much with. Oh, yeah, I am really struggling with this. So I can't lie. Can't pretend that it's going well. It's just not. Let me see. No, that's definitely not right. Okay, no, that's not right. I have got some of my Savile Row stuff here somewhere. Let me just see whether, because I'm thinking the Savile Row papers, they're kind of like maybe the right colour here. Oh, and now as usual I can't find them. Got some of this. Let's just see. Just see whether we could have any of this or something in the background. Let's just see if we could have a bit more. Oops. So this is just that little tiny bit that I had left over when I made that folio from the book page collage. So I just happened to have a little bit left. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, I really like how that looks. So I'm going to glue these down. Excuse me, I've got now a frog in my throat since obviously coming back from the gym. I probably should have guzzled down a load of water, to be honest, between getting home and doing my video, but never mind. Oh, no, I'm not going to bring that dry wipe in and start dabbing that down, because then I'm going to end up dabbing this with gesso again, just like I did with that butterfly just now, where it just caused me so much, you know, stress trying to cover it up. So, yeah, I'm not going to do that again. Right, loving how that looks. Now, I'm just wondering, yeah, I think what I'll do is ink the whole thing up with the walnut stain Distress Oxide to grunge it up. I've got here another street name. I know then I've got two street names, which is that just a little bit weird. I have got this dark umbrella. Let me just try cutting this out and see whether this might look good on there. Oh, could really do with my glasses on to fussy cut this out. Oops, like that. And there. Okay. Okay. Right. Oh my goodness, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oops. Oh, I don't know. The umbrella's kind of, not sure it's quite right. I mean, it looks quite cute on there, but there's not that much room to have the umbrella and this piece and stuff. So, let me take that out. Okay, let's try a clock. And a clock in the background. Maybe have this. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there. And again, I'm thinking we could kind of ink around here in that gold ink again, because I really liked how that looked. So yeah, let's pop this clock down. Oh. Okay, so we've got the clock. Again, trying not to use that wipe, you know, that's smothered in the gesso. So at least I did remember, I guess, not to use that. So, okay, and this one, put that down. that. Okay. Right, okay. So then I think what I want to do now is around the corners. Like that. I don't think we cut this one down, did we? We did cut the blue one down, but I don't think we cut this one down. It's hard to remember, to be honest, isn't it, what you've done and not done. Okay. And then I'm just going to ink around before I, you know, go in with the gold. The gold ink, so like that. Okay. And just get rid of that bit there. Okay, and here. Oh, that looks lovely. Really lovely. And then do we want another street name? I know that is perhaps a bit weird, but I do like it. Yeah, I'm going to go for another street name. So let's just put that one down up there. And all of these bits, the dark ones, they're all from my vintage tanners, including that one that says Church Street. I know that's not especially dark, but that one's also from the vintage tanners. It's kind of just a coordinating piece. And then obviously this locket piece, this is from my, whoops, my lady lockets, set 2, I think they're called. But anyway, they're all in my Etsy shop if you wanted to, you know, if you were wondering where I got any of the bits, that's what they all are. Right, just before I commit and glue this down, I'm just going to check that I like those colours that we've picked. So I'm just going to say, cut this piece out. Because, you know, I mean, although they're not much different, they're all just the lady lockets, but, you know, just occasionally you kind of then think, oh, actually that colour just goes better, or, you know, something like that. So yeah, I'm just going to check whether this might look nicer. I mean, I love that blue one, don't get me wrong, I do love that blue one, so I'm not in any way doubting that, but sometimes, you know, you can try something else and then you think, oh, that looks so much nicer, even though you didn't think that the other piece didn't look nice in the first place, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm just checking for. Okay. Yeah, I mean, actually, when I got to my desk, I was still drinking my Costa, which was lovely. Oh, I just love a hot chocolate, honestly. I know I've talked about it so many times before, but yeah, it's kind of like a bit of an addiction of mine, hot chocolate. Okay, I have at least one every single day. Not from Costa. I have them at home, you know, that I make at home. But yes, I at least have one every single day. Never really have a day where I don't have a Costa. Don't have a hot chocolate. Obviously, I have days where I don't have a Costa. I maybe only have a Costa, you know, once a week or something, but as a kind of treat. But yeah, I always have a hot chocolate every single day without fail. And even, you know, I mean, if it's a really hot day and we go, like, say, to the beach, everyone else has an ice cream, I will have a hot chocolate. I just can't get enough of hot chocolate. It's my thing. Right, just checking whether I wanted to have some lace or anything coming out here. Probably have to put it on that way round, so let me just chop that down. Okay, move that out of the way. What do we think? With lace or without lace? I mean, it's not very often that I would pick without, is it? But, you know, it's always worth just checking. Right, that's with, that's without. Do you know, I'm actually going to go without today. That's just so unlike me. I can't tell you, but yeah, going to actually go without the lace. So, because I think that lace was kind of smothering it a bit too much and taking over. Right, again, I've hot glued this down, so I'm not pressing it too hard because I want it to just be slightly raised, if you can see that. I don't know how well the camera picks that up, but it's just got a slightly raised effect then. You know, it's not raised like using the foam dots, but it's just a little bit of extra dimension that it didn't have otherwise. So I'm just going to now take that gold ink again, and then I'm going to just again try and get that kind of runny thing going on down the sides like that. Oh, I love how that ink looks. That might be my new favorite thing to do. Yeah, I just love gold. It makes such a sort of big impact, doesn't it, on things? And yeah, I really love it. It kind of just takes things to another level. It's a little bit like lace and bling, to be honest. Oh, love how that looks. So let me just quickly mop up the gold, and then I will bring the other one back in that we did as well. I mean, they look very different, to be honest, now. So that's the two of them. To be honest, I actually don't know which one I prefer now, because yeah, originally I really loved that blue one, but to be honest, now that this one's finished, I'm equally really loving that pink one as well. So yeah, not quite sure which one I prefer, to be honest. I think they're both really nice. Let me know below which one you prefer, because I'd love to know which one you think is better, or, you know, nicer, or which one's just more up your street, to be honest. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you all have a super great day, and hopefully see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.